Welcome, and thank you for coming. I am very curious about the Pink Bow's creation and how it was decided on. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to inform you of our struggles and triumphs throughout the production of our opening sequence. Great, let's get started. Let's start with the basics. Tell us a little bit about your film. My opening sequence is called The Pink Bow. It is about a group of teenagers who are all experiencing this panic caused by a missing girl named Nicole. The girls are seeing missing posters and warnings from their parents. In this small town, everyone is worrying. While these teenagers are not concerned with this major disruption, their parents are looking out for them. Since our task was to only produce an introduction to the whole film, we did not want to include too much of the story. Most mystery movies would not give the main problem of the story until each character and the setting is known by the audience. Why did you name it The Pink Bow? We chose the title The Pink Bow because we wanted the title to be confusing for the audience. Since they do not know the whole story, we want them to continue thinking about the relevance between the bow and the storyline. There is a bit of foreshadowing because in the poster you can see that the young girl has a pink bow in her hair. Some of the audience will connect that and it will give them an idea for the rest of the film. How does your product use or challenge conventions, and how does it represent social groups or issues? How does your project fit in with the mystery genre? Well, my group and I wanted to make a film that had a mystery storyline. So in our research, we found that most thriller and mystery movies began with a normal and happy beginning. In our opening sequence, we thought it would be best to have a casual entrance that slowly invited the mystery, a missing girl. Another detail we added was introducing each character separately. We wanted to have an entrance for each actor to show their personality. There are other films that do the same. We decided to incorporate common characteristics that are used in those films to add more knowledgeable tones when watching our opening sequence. Wow, that's very interesting how you found those similarities. How does your film represent social groups or issues? This film embodies the effect a kidnapping can have on a community. While not many people can relate to an experience of kidnapping, many families can think about this occurrence and prepare to defend themselves. Since the project was only the opening sequence, the storyline is not continued and the audience does not know what will happen. They do not know if Nicole is found dead or alive, or not found at all. Nicole is introduced through missing child posters throughout the teenagers' neighborhood. The safety of children is a very important issue which is portrayed by the parents' concern for their daughters, especially after the kidnapping. Gender is another social group that is featured in our opening sequence. Since the main characters are all female, they are all given the area to have different personalities and beliefs. They are not all the stereotypical teenage girls. Everyone is associated with females because they are part of our normal lives. Yes, it is very important for your film to relate to many people. How does your product engage with audiences, and how would it be distributed as a real media text? It gains the audience's attention through the music and fast-paced editing. Since we had to introduce 4 main characters in this 2-minute opening sequence, we had to add music that fits this fast introduction. Our group planned for the beginning of the film to look suspenseful. This makes viewers want to continue watching. We also used camera angles that made the audience feel like they were in the scene. We used over-the-shoulder shots and point-of-view shots. By adding the music combined with the missing posters, the audience also feels sympathetic towards Nicole, the missing girl. How will you distribute your film? This film could be marketed through advertisements or commercials on common channels. Many people are avid mystery movie watchers. Those people could share with their friends and family. Teenagers would also be a major percentage of the audience because they watch movies where they can relate to the story. Whether they live in a small town or not, teenagers are fascinated by films with mystery and other characters their ages. Another way I could distribute this is by social media. By posting reminders, trailers, or pictures of the Pink Bow, others will see and share it. Many groups and companies rely on social media to share upcoming events to gain popularity. How did your production skills develop throughout this project? Throughout this project, I have learned that filming with different movements and angles is very difficult, but possible. When my group members and I filmed scenes on a bicycle, We could not keep up without it being shaky. We decided to make something that would keep it steady. We found an old hat and some tape. Since the clip we were filming was to show the handlebars and the arms of the character biking down the street, we taped a phone to the hat. This made the camera more steady and could easily control the movement by tilting their head. I am more experienced with filming complicated scenes with different angles now. In the beginning, I accidentally filmed my shadows in the scenes and was not prepared enough to prop up the camera instead. I mainly learned how important it is when filming to have a plan and options for every scene. My group and I planned our opening sequence in a very detailed manner, which did not leave us a lot of room to change anything. We had to replan most of the project because it was too complicated for our camera's abilities and it was extremely long. Severely passing the 2-minute mark, we decided to cut a lot of our scenes out. We discovered how vital it is to be realistic and to have a contingency plan. I really appreciated how my group and I were organized. We separated the work into collaboration, editing specific parts, working on the credits, and meeting up to film. Unfortunately, it was hard for all of us to have time to meet up. Some days when we edited, only 2 of us could be there. However, we shared all the work and finished our parts. What other obstacles did you face while editing? We also struggled with finding music and background sounds. We were told that if we wanted to use music owned by a label company or song artist, we had to email them for permission to use their song. In my past blogs, I described how difficult it was to receive an answer. We emailed and sent messages on social media to PJ Harvey and Britney Spears. We wanted to use their songs Good Fortune during most of the film and use the song Toxic for the car scene to make it seem like it was coming from the radio. Since PJ Harvey is not widely known, we assumed she or her labeling company would email us back. We doubted getting a response back for Britney Spears' song because she is a larger known celebrity. We waited a few weeks for a response, but we ran out of time. I decided that we needed to look at royalty-free music and background effects because they were not going to answer us. It took our group a few days to agree on the music. We all had ideas of the tone the music would set for the opening sequence. I learned the importance of backup plans. While we had options for some plans, we did not think of having alternate songs and actors. Did you have any difficulties with the actors? Our group planned on having some of our classmates and friends help us. Unfortunately, because of COVID-19, we couldn't incorporate everything we wanted. In our project, we have 5 actors, 2 of them being parents. We do not consider the person who played the missing child an actor yet because the only way she was shown was on posters around the town. We wanted to include other characters, but we realized that if we did, the film would be too long and contain too much unnecessary information. After producing this film, what career might you want now, and what career do you know you never want now? After completing all of the tasks that led to the creation of this opening sequence, I have realized that in the future I would like to find a career in editing films. I did not enjoy filming or creating the opening sequence as much as I liked putting it all together. How did you integrate technologies in this project? I used multiple types of technology during this project. Before we started creating the scenes, we had to research and plan the story. To record our journey, each member of our group made a blog to show the timeline of what we did. By using the website Blogger, we added the plan for our storyboard, script, and title. After analyzing other examples of mystery genre movies, we added our research into separate blogs. We looked at popular streaming websites like Netflix and Hulu to see examples. We found the similarities of these films and their titles through a website called Art of the Title. My group and I are all pretty advanced with editing and filming. We know what we have to do and how to do it. We all have iPhones, so we took turns filming on them. After filming each scene and extra recordings, we uploaded them onto my laptop. The other members all agreed to use mine because we are all experienced with the brand. After deciding to use iMovie, a video editing software, I uploaded each clip into it. Then I put them in order and rewatched it many times to look for mistakes. My group and I realized at the end of our project that one of our scenes was accidentally filmed vertically. We had to wait to complete the editing process while we filmed that one scene. iMovie was not the only app we used on my laptop. While we originally added the credits, we noticed how they all looked different. Unfortunately, the text would not move, so we found a different way. To create the credits, we used PowerPoint, Keynote, YouTube, and a custom font website. Since my group and I already are used to editing on iMovie, we knew how to add credits the traditional way. We wanted to change the movements of the credits and their placements on the screen. We first used PowerPoint to place text boxes on our desired corner of the screen. We made all of the backgrounds a neon green color so iMovie would recognize it as a green screen. Then, we imported them into iMovie and changed the option for green screen and to fit the margins. For the title, we added a more advanced movement. Since all of the fonts were typewriter themed, we wanted the title to appear like it was being typed. I researched and found a very helpful video on YouTube. The instructions were given by a well-educated person and helped me step by step on how to add moving credits. We used the app Keynote because it can add animations. I have never used Keynote before, so I feel like I've learned how to use more technology. After saving the clip of the moving title, we made it a transparent background and imported it. By creating the digital green screen and moving text, I feel like I used all of my resources and greatly improved the quality of our work. This is an example of our title and how we used Keynote and iMovie to create it. Thank you for joining me and answering these questions. Of course, thank you.